Dave Hirschman, AOPA pilot.
Robert Barnes, Director of Sales, North America for Risen Aircraft USA.
We're in Nephi, Utah to take a look at the Risen aircraft, a really distinctive looking, ultra efficient Italian airplane.
AOPA keeps flying safe, accessible, and fun by protecting your freedom to fly. We are the most trusted one-stop resource for all things related to general aviation. Join AOPA today. Thanks to Lightspeed for sponsoring this video. Click below to learn more about the Lightspeed Delta Zulu.
So tell me about this airplane and what its purpose is.
The Risen was conceived by Alberto Porto. He's an Argentinian by birth, lives in Italy, but it was conceived as a high-speed, ultra-efficient, very, very safe, high-speed personal transport. We believe he's met those objectives, and as far as visually, I think the airplane speaks for itself. And there's an old saying by Marcel Dassault that if an airplane looks right, it flies right. And we believe it does.
The idea was to design an ultralight following the European rules, so a plane capable to do low-speed flights and high-speed flights, looking mainly for efficiency, so low fuel burn, long-range capabilities, something, let's say, without compromise. I know it's easy to say, but it's difficult to achieve, and I think we have had a very good ideas.
And this is 160 horsepower, Rotax powered, 2-seat, laminar flow wing, retractable gear. And what sort of speed and performance could an owner realistically expect?
So a realistic performance profile that I see every day on my 915, which is one generation back, at 70% power in my Rotax, I'm seeing 195 knots at 70% power at 6.8 gallons per hour, and I can get that all day long. Now, I have a built-in oxygen system like a lot of the owners have opted for. If you want to climb into the mid to high teens, you can easily exceed 220 knots plus in this airplane. Terrific glide ratio, avionics are state-of-the-art, and the visibility, as you can see, is just phenomenal.
You've got a background in corporate aircraft, you've got a GA aircraft. What does a person have to do to prepare to fly an airplane like this, and what is it?
I would say that any average skill set private pilot would be suitable for this airplane. It's got very benign low speed handling characteristics. There's no spooky edges this airplane has. It's got a 43 knot stall speed, which is about what a Cessna 150 stalls at. 20-to-1 glide ratio. I don't think any Cessna that I'm aware of has a glide ratio like that. So I think any typical skill set of a private pilot would be fine with this airplane. Obviously, it's a higher performance airplane, so you have to be able to think ahead a bit with this airplane. And with the avionics it has on it, it can be a lot for a brand new pilot. So I would recommend somebody with probably a couple hundred hours and a private pilot's license.
Now, tell me about the aerodynamic black magic that goes into this, because to have an airplane that stalls that slow and cruises that fast, there's got to be some really interesting things going on behind the scenes.
So the secret sauce to this airplane is how it was conceived, and unlike all of our competitors, if you will, this airplane was conceived using computational fluid design, which is a fancy way of saying the airfoil and airframe was designed on a high-speed computer to optimize airflow, and that's how we're able to get such low, incredibly low stall speeds and yet very, very high cruise speeds.
You know, I'm an aeronautical engineer. My career was in the CFD. So when I think about the plane was just to give freedom to my imagination using the latest technology that is still there, and to the goal that it was efficiency. So there is no one unique feature that gives the plane the efficiency and the capability it has. It's a lot of little things put in together that make the big number.
You know, the proof in the pudding is the fact that our founder flew across the Atlantic non-stop last summer without refueling from Stornoway, Scotland, and landed in Newfoundland non-stop. And that has never been accomplished in an ultralight or LSA before. And that speaks to the design brilliance of Alberto Porto and his design team, again, using computational fluid design as a foundation.
All right, here we go, Dave. Okay.
Rudder vaders become effective about 45 knots. Right there. I typically rotate about 60. Positive rate, gear up.
traffic, Amstar 104 Uniform Victor on left crosswind for runway 17.
And the trick is to, because this thing produces so much more torque, you've got to point the nose well north, unless you want to reduce the power. There's our flap speed. Flaps coming up. And now it's just a matter of accelerating. So normally I carry about 88, 89% power on a climb. And whenever you're ready to take the airplane, it's all yours.
Okay, I've got the airplane.
You have the controls.
I'm just gonna roll left and right a little bit.
Yeah. And we're indicating 130, so power is your deal.
Okay, so leveling off at 7,000.
Okay.
And indicating, yeah, I can see this. Boy, this speed just creeps right up there, doesn't it?
And you're only at 39% power.
Right, and I'm coming back on the power because I was ready to do some gear extensions and retractions.
Yep. So again, if we're going to drop the gear,
yeah, we got to slow way down.
You got the magic number is actually 73 knots indicated.
Okay.
So whatever it takes, Dave, to get down to 73 knots.
Okay, so 100 slowing to 90.
Okay. Alrighty, that's good enough. So here it's come, first notch of flaps. And I'd be curious to see if you see any pitch change.
No.
Okay.
Okay, let's so 70 gear down.
Here we go.
That's
And
my
hold-
AOA indicator.
Hold 70.
Okay.
Whatever it takes, hold 70.
Roger. I feel the drag increasing now, so it's there's 70.
All right.
Let's go ahead and raise them again.
All right, here we go. You could be a little bit higher indicated airspeed with gear retraction because it forces the gear back anyway,
Gotcha.
like a Cessna 210. There we go. We're up.
All right,
Now.
I'm increasing the power, and then we're going to raise the rest of the flaps.
Correct. Okay, flaps up. There we go.
We'll do a couple of turns. I'll just do a steep turn to the left. I like how the horizon line goes through the mountain. That's pretty neat.
Yep.
Okay, so 45 degrees, just coming up on 45.
This airplane is really built for high speed, long distance transportation.
Right.
You know, this airplane, I can, at 10,500 feet, I can almost always get 195 knots at 70% power, which equates to about 6.8 gallons an hour.
That's incredible
Which is pretty efficient. If I want to get into the mid to high teens, it's easy to see 220 knots in this airplane.
Okay, 67 for 6,000.
Yep. Okay, now I'd be dirtying things up, of course.
Okay.
So get down to the magic number 90 knots.
Pitch for that.
Almost turn left downwind for runway 17.
90.
Bad traffic.
That's close enough. And start descending. I'll roll you down. Problem is, it's hard to go down and slow down.
Right.
So go ahead and pitch up a bit. We'll get you within gear speed. Now hold that airspeed in the turn. 3 green confirmed, you're good. Now it's just landing flaps to go. And again, for landing flaps, normally 70, 73 knots, thereabouts. Okay, let's get your landing flaps in.
Nephi traffic, check 5,
Okay,
85,
go for it.
4.5 mile
Okay.
final, runway 17.
A little fast, I guess.
We're going
There we
to
go.
keep going. Yes.
I almost never use full flaps because that's 38 degrees of flaps, and it's just, if you're going into a really short strip, that's fine. Okay, 70 knots is a good approach speed number. Okay. And whenever you want me to take over, I can. or if
Yeah,
you just
go
want-
for it. It's all yours.
I have the aircraft. Okay, so you notice I'm holding
Bad traffic, time
a little bit north of 70 because the airplane will, it will sink on you if you get low and slow.
Nephi traffic, Diamond Star 104 Uniform Victor, turning left crosswind.
So it's all about the sight
for
picture at this point
we're
and
gonna
slowing
be
to 70.
departing on the downwind leg, back into Provo.
Nephi traffic, Aerial 51 Juliet Foxtrot. We are 5 miles to the northeast of the airport.
Get right down to ground
gonna come
effect.
in on a 45 and join the pattern for runway 17.
Okay,
Nephi.
I'll take that one.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Nephi traffic,
There's
check
60.
55, 2.5 mile final,
Runway 17 short low approach on anchor check.
You're up.
Nephi traffic, Diamond Star 4012, X-ray turning left base, runway 17.
See how I have to
go.
point the nose up to get within gear retraction
Right.
speed? It's crazy. Okay, Dave, you have controls.
Okay, I've got the controls. Okay, slow, coming up on 90 for the initial flaps.
Correct. And this is a, as you see, it's a rotating knob.
Okay, I'll do it. It's
Yep. So you're in
the
control.
first one.
First
Nephi
one.
traffic, Aero.
'Cause you're pretty
Coming
high.
back on the power, and we'll get the gear down.
Yep. Looking good, Dave. Looking really good. So the key is to get right down in ground effect, holding 70 knots, and then bleed the airspeed off.
Roger.
Okay. I'm gonna give you full flaps now,
Okay,
or
go
landing
for it.
flaps rather. That'll help you.
Space.
Okay, lights,
D5.
fuel, gear, landing checklist complete. It's pretty much up to you now.
Nephi traffic.
500.
You do a nice job.
Oh,
This
thanks.
looks really good. So
Little-
disregard the AOA. I apologize for
Right.
that. Good airspeed control, Dave. That looks really good. Get right on that center line. And get right down to ground effect.
Roger.
Go.
Can't do much better than that.